20 years after the 9/11 attacks, the threat of terrorism still looms large in American life. Nearly 3,000 people died on September 11, 2001. More than 6,000 were injured. It would take 10 years before the U.S. killed the mastermind behind the attacks, Osama bin Laden. But with the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan and the government now run by the Taliban, which provided a safe haven for Al-Qaeda, U.S. officials worry the terrorist group will regenerate. So what does that mean for Americans on U.S. soil?
They have a really difficult time moving terrorists from overseas into the United States and carrying out a complex coordinated attack. So they change their tactics. They use plotters and bomb experts to train people online so that they can carry out attacks here.
U.S. officials also say Al-Qaeda is not the only terror concern in Afghanistan. ISIS-K, the group behind the suicide bombing at the Kabul airport that left 13 U.S. service members and 170 Afghans dead, is a clear and growing threat. Walking across the metro to honor those killed on September 11, 2001. It's a yearly tradition for a group of firefighters and other Iowans who join them. The group starts in Waukee and walks all the way to the Iowa State House. They stop at firehouses along the 21-mile route. One organizer citing the attacks and his decision to become a first responder.
I think 9/11 was one of the things that helped me want to be a firefighter, just the ability to help people in times of trial. When the fires were going on, people were running out of the towers and firefighters were rushing in to help people, and it's a wonderful thing to know that people will come and help and be part of the solution.
This year's march begins at 9/11 tomorrow morning at Centennial Park in Waukee, right by Waukee High School. The walk is free, but the group asks you to register ahead of time. And a few blocks away from Ground Zero, the lives inside a high school were forever changed. Those real-life experiences told by those students and staff that day and captured in a piece called With Their Eyes. It's now told by students on the Playhouse stage who weren't even alive when those attacks happened 20 years ago.
Whenever we learned about it in school and stuff, it didn't really go over like the effects that it had on people, more like the effects that they had on government and politics and things like that.
I really like theater because it adds the piece of connection where sometimes in books you just read about it and you don't really connect with the material. You find it hard to feel what they felt.
I like thinking that I can keep their words alive, keep them going, let people know what happened.
You can see a staged reading with area students recounting the real stories as told from students' perspectives this Saturday. 2 performances are being held at the Des Moines Playhouse. The first is at 8:46 a.m., the time the first plane crashed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The second performance is at 2 p.m. There is also a digital opportunity to watch. For students today, it can be hard to understand the magnitude of the 9/11 attacks. That's why one New Jersey high school puts on a display to put the date in perspective. Cedar Grove High School installing 2,977 flags on the front lawn of their school with the names of each person killed in the attack. And first responders paying tribute to their brothers and sisters who died in the 9/11 attacks before last night's annual Hockey Heroes game between the New York Police and Fire Departments. The names of the first responders lost displayed on the Jumbotron as bagpipes played. The New York Fire Department dominating on the ice. They take home the win 7-4.